What's up, crypto peoples? Crypto Beast here. First of all, happy new year. I hope all your dreams, aspirations come true. And to start things off, I'm going to be discussing the Bitcoin halving. Now, the Bitcoin halving is happening this year, so it's extremely important to understand where it is. It's extremely important to understand the technical analysis of past halvings and what people are doing in regards to preparing for the Bitcoin halving and what the history has taught us. So what I've done is I went online, I've got all this information and put it into one video so you can basically understand what it means and you can be as prepared as possible for the Bitcoin halving. So sit back and enjoy this video. It's going to be a bit more technical and analytical. So hopefully you'll enjoy it. All the best. So to start things off, I just want to explain what the halvening really is to those of you who don't know. So the halvening happens once every 4 years and it's only happened twice since the inception of Bitcoin. Currently, miners can generate 1,800 Bitcoin per day, and that's going to drop to 900 in 132 days. So let's go into more details of past historical halvening so you can get a better understanding of what actually happened in the past. Now let's look at the historical analysis of the Bitcoin halvings. Now the first one happened in 2011 and the amount of Bitcoins that miners were able to mine went down from 7,200 to 3,600. Now it took 135 days to rally 13,304% from the pre-halving bottom, as you can see here, which was $2.01. And then it went all the way up to $270.94. Now this is where things get really interesting. So if we look at the second halving, which happened in 2016, it took 524 days to go up 12,168% from its bottom of $164.01 all the way up to $20,074.04. Now history doesn't lie, so the thing I want everybody to take away, and it doesn't take a genius to see this, is that it took almost double the time for Bitcoin to rally up basically the same amount as it did last time. It had a bit of a less rally, so it was 12,000% instead of 13,000 something, but the average was still 12,500. Now there are lots of opinions from the people I've spoken about and lots of articles into regards to why this happens and what are the reasons it took double the time, but I think the general consensus is the market capitalization. So if we have a look at the Bitcoin market cap, at the time of its first halvening, the market cap was in the millions, under 100 million. And then at the time of its second halvening, it was in the billions, nearly reaching 10 billion pre the first halving. Yes, and then it went up to 300 over 300 billion when it was in its all-time high. Now currently it is 131 billion, something in that region. And if you think about it, more the market cap, the harder it's going to be to actually raise the price. Also, of course, there's hype. There's the amount of new possible investors which can come into the industry. There's lots of different factors, but the market cap, I think, is one that you should really watch out for when deciding how long it's going to take for Bitcoin to rally once again. So very briefly, I wanted to give you my breakdown of how I plan to profit from the halving. As I mentioned earlier, I'm buying up Bitcoin right now and I will be selling before the halving happens, after I've got my percentage, my desired percentage, which I usually keep between 10 to 15% depending on the market. Now, there's a couple of things which are extremely important. Number one, as I've already mentioned, 5% profit is still profit. So take it out if you can. Be happy with that profit and then reinvest it. Make sure you're counting up all the fees, exchange, transfer, etc. because those do add up at the end of the day, especially if you're investing small amounts. Now, what I suggest for everybody to do, however experienced you are, if you're not doing this, this is a great suggestion, is just have a spreadsheet, an Excel spreadsheet or Word, whatever you prefer to use, and write down exactly how much fiat, so dollars, pounds, whatever currency you're using, you've invested into Bitcoin throughout, let's say, the past year, and then work out how much has gone up, work out your exchange fees, have it all planned out, have it all worked out. So when the rally does come, if it does, if it does, well, historically speaking, it will. So when it does come, you'll know exactly how much you need to break even. And that is the point that you're waiting for. Nobody wants to go out or take out before they make a profit. And a lot of people did, unfortunately. And you know, some people had to withdraw because of financial issues, etc. But others just got scared and they gave up on Bitcoin. So for those of you who haven't, or for those of you who still got the belief in it, then, well, you need to get the spreadsheet. You need to make sure you know exactly how much you need to profit, 5%, 10%, etc. You will be able to tell from the news, from the updates. You will understand how much the market will rally during the halving or post halving, or how excited people will get. So that's my sort of breakdown of how you should be able to control your profit margins. It's very simple, but it's a really good technique. So I hope that helps quite a few of you. So as part of my conclusion, I wanted to discuss the future of Bitcoin. Now, the last Bitcoin will be mined in 2140. Now, there is something that can change that actually, and that is if the Bitcoin protocol is changed. Now, it hasn't been changed since Bitcoin's inception, and nobody's really sure if Satoshi Nakamoto is still alive. So all I can say is that the chances of it changes are very small. And at the moment, there's a lot of food or FUD, however you want to say it, within the industry. And I know this word has flown around quite a lot, and people are getting really annoyed with it, but this is literally what's happening. Everybody is in fear of Bitcoin going down to 1,000, and that's why not a lot of people are investing. And all of us are waiting for something to happen, and the Bitcoin halving has been that something every single time. So if you're a skeptic, then you would say right now Bitcoin and the industry is completely different to how it's been before, so we can't use historical data to support our current investment. And others will say, look, in any investment market, historical data has been the underlying cause of any investment and has been one of the, you know, the reasons to invest. So I have two questions really for all of you. Do you think this is the last halving? Do you think by the time the next one happens, Bitcoin will be dead? And do you plan to profit from this halving? And if you do, if you are planning to, how are you going to do it? Let me know in the comments, and I hope you've enjoyed this more detailed video about the Bitcoin halving, and I'll see you on the next one.